Hi, we're going to have a little discussion today about how to find your first data science job. So, data science is truly a wonderful career, especially if you like to tinker with data, think what is going on and solve problems. And in this video, I'll go over how you can find your very first data science job. If you're just starting, if you're thinking about changing your career, if you're not happy about what you're doing so far, that's a chance for you. So, you might know that finding a job is like searching for a needle in a haystack. It's not easy, but actually the process for data scientists is quite clear, especially right now with this much of a demand that we're having. So I'm going to cover the basics. So first of all, there are a couple of things you need to learn. Statistics and linear algebra, that's absolutely needed, and you will need to learn those to understand the basic data science concepts like random variables, distribution, probability, and operations on matrices. So your first step should go to learning materials on those, doing a couple of exercises until you feel comfortable with mathematical part. There's not much of that, but you really needed to do more data science. And then there's of course Python. So you need to install Anaconda, open Jupyter Notebook, and then start playing with some of the things you can find on the internet. Like for example, try to open the CSV file, load it into Pandas data frame, try visualizing that, and have fun while doing so. So that might be the very first step you take with Python. Next, in order to actually build your credibility, you will need to build a GitHub repository, and in order to do that, you have to find a dataset. So a dataset can be anything. It just means that you will have at least a couple of megabytes of data that you can play around with. And it can be something that you like. So for example, if you like music, try to find music data. Google music dataset and go for it. Especially Kaggle, so kaggle.com, is a great resource for datasets, and there are plenty of datasets on the web prepared by researchers and data scientists. So try finding one of them, experiment with those, and try to build a solution around it. So having a dataset will allow you to start tinkering with it, try answering like simple questions about how this data behaves, what is an anomaly, what's normal, and different kind of questions which will depend on the data you're dealing with. The important thing here is to have like 2-3 concrete questions in mind, which you can answer clearly and then try to visualize. After you solve a problem, answer your questions and try to visualize them, and then if you have a GitHub repository, then upload it to your GitHub repository. If not, that's a perfect occasion to actually start a GitHub repository. It's really important because this is how you share your skills with the world, and it will be important for the process of hiring and talking with your potential employers. So now, having done that, the most important thing is to repeat this thing at least 3 times, so you have 2, 3, 4 different repositories with different code, with different open source projects. And if you're looking for ideas, what you might do, what you might try, then definitely there are a couple of topics like classification, when you have 2 or more categories and try to classify objects according to these labels. And probably you will be using something like KNN, naive Bayes, decision trees, XGBoost, or even neural networks. Then something with clustering, so you don't have any labels but still want to classify data, and you cluster data by different measures of similarity, and thus you create labels. So standard techniques here include k-means and dbScan, and those are really important. Then if you do something with neural networks, that would be absolutely fantastic. It will show to your potential employer that you really know what data science is about in the beginning. And then you also might try to do something with visualizations, but this is the topic that will be repeated over and over in each of your projects because it's very important to visualize data. I will come back to that later on. So next we're coming to polishing your CV and LinkedIn profile. So once you have a couple of projects on GitHub, the most important thing is to actually go to one of the social media platforms and it happens that LinkedIn is currently the most used for business purposes, for purpose of your career, and put an up-to-date profile on LinkedIn which looks good, which have all the certificates that you have in data science. So for example, you can go on Coursera, try to do a couple of courses there and put the certificates from Coursera on your LinkedIn. That always looks good, especially if you don't have background in computer science. That will show your expertise, show your different projects, give links to GitHub, and in general do a really good CV. So what's really important is, especially if you're making a career change, to explain why do you want to go into data science, what kind of problems you would like to solve, and show that you're able to learn all the time. Because what's the most important part about being a data scientist is constant learning. You will need to learn, relearn, and learn again throughout your whole career, and that's even more important than actually knowing any single library, module, or being comfortable with some kind of problem, because it's the whole mindset, it's the problem-solving mindset that you need in order to find a job and be really up to date with everything that is going on in data science. So think about that and do your CV in really this way, showing that you are able to solve problems. And then if you have a CV, you can slowly start preparing to send this CV to a potential employer. I will talk about that in a minute, but for now let's think about who is a data scientist in a grand scheme. So there are two parts of actually being a data scientist, and one is having soft skills and having technical skills. So most of the people actually forget about the soft skills, especially if you're more oriented towards being a technical guy. Then probably you quickly learn everything about using Python, using different machine learning libraries like Keras or TensorFlow. You'll be comfortable with Anaconda and similar IDEs for programming. And that's fine, that's really, really important. But actually, there's a second part to being a data scientist, and that's communication, visualization, teamwork, and social media at this stage of actually finding a job. So it's really important to connect both soft skills and technical skills, and only then you become really a data scientist who can work well with team. And those are really important if you want to find a good job. But it also doesn't really mean that you have to be really excellent at everything. You can lean more towards technical side, you can lean more towards soft skills. That's fine. It's all up to you which side you prefer more, but you need to remember about those two sides. So once we have discussed that, we can go basically to a job interview. So if you have a well-prepared CV, LinkedIn profile is up to date, and you have active GitHub, it's time to start sending CVs to different data science companies or companies who are just looking for data science positions. So don't worry at the beginning about the results. The most important thing is to get the job interview and see for yourself how it looks like. Treat the first 3 interviews as an exercise. You'll solve some problems, you'll talk with people, you'll learn something new. Just stay open and see for yourself what is expected from you. Ask questions about the job and requirements, ask about work conditions, possible career, and similar questions, everything that comes to your mind. If you want to prepare well for a data science job, you just read more about the company, read carefully job description for anything that might indicate what problems you'll be solving, and read more about those. Also remember that it's not an exam. You'll be judged not only by your technical skills, but also by your presentation, communication skills, openness, curiosity, and many others. So those are the soft skills that I've mentioned. So don't feel too bad when you won't be hired. That's absolutely normal. You'll probably be rejected like 95% of the time. You just might not be a good fit for this one particular organization, but that doesn't say anything about your skills. So yeah, that's about it. That's basically the whole process of what it means to become a data scientist. And just remember that data science is a great career, but it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So don't worry if you don't get results in the first months. Be patient, code more, it's all about the training. Skills will come with time. And thank you for listening to this video and good luck with your search. Also, if you would subscribe to my channel and give me a like, that will mean a lot to me. Thank you and see you in the next episode.